bags on me. All these racks on me. All this cash on me.
Really tired. Like, I am a little tired, but excuses. I'm gonna play some background music. I could talk about the podcast. I'm contacting all these people to come as a guest on my podcast. It's no one with like a lot of following. It's like just regular people. And I'm finding everyone from like Gary's comment section or whatever and getting rejected, honestly. But the few percentage people are connecting, and then they ask, what is the podcast about? And I like just give them like a little introduction that it's about, you know, like just what I'm doing. It's just like having a conversation about where you are in life, what you want to do with the world, what's your journey like just what's happening in life in general. These are all like-minded people, everyone who wants to be successful. I don't know, but definitely something along those lines. And finding that in my podcasts, I haven't been able to forge that trust and kind of relationship. I don't know. Like when we're talking, it's a good conversation. No one's like awkward and stuff. We have like a good conversation. But I want to kind of get ahead of that. And actually, like every person I encounter, we should be, I wouldn't say like lifelong friends, but definitely establish some kind of like meaningful relationship. That's like the whole agenda of the podcast. It's called building community. And we're trying to build this community of like-minded people. But like not just like once we talk and like it's some shit, but actually like a sustainable community that kind of does things together. There's fucking no copyrighted music playing. And I really need to work on my communication skills or whatever. But like just generally, I've been praying to maintain like a pure heart and pure mind and not get swayed by things, you know? I was just going through my podcast and so much about like just me talking about myself. It's like just me, hey, we're trying to build this community. Would you like to be a part of it? And they're like, sure. I don't know. It's nothing sustainable. My whole idea was to be able to have a conversation, like such a meaningful conversation that after that both of us kind of really remember each other, and that one conversation really impacts like a life in some sort of way. That would be like a good podcast. And even though like not a lot of people watching this and all, like I'm fine. Honestly, like I know the time will come when the world will come to this. But for me to have a successful podcast is when the person who I'm speaking with, I don't know, is like just kind of left reassured and empowered and inspired, and not just like motivated for a little time, but like a very sustainable empowerment kind of a thing, you know? And I'm seeing that I'm failing to do that, because this whole thing is like me trying to exercise building friendships and building like forging that trust between two people. And I'm a person, like I feel like I'm a people's person. I want people, anything I want to do, I don't want to do it alone. I want it to be like everyone's effort. Like it's always smart. Like what a team can accomplish is so much more meaningful, I feel, like what an individual can accomplish. Does that make sense? I want people, like I want to do it together instead of like just kind of hustle everything on my own. Like I'm not trying to do that stuff. And that's why the podcast is there for me to make those friendships happen. So even like when I travel to a different place to live, to work, I find it easier to communicate with people, not just like a small talk like, hey, like where you from, I'm new and all of things, but generally like have a meaning. Why I say meaningful conversation is because I want to leave an impression, but at the same time it should be a valuable conversation. Like I don't want to leave an impression to like boost my ego, like, you know, you'll remember me, but just because like life's too short. Like if I'm talking with you, I really want it to be valuable for the both of us and for us to be able to accomplish something from that little conversation. Like I feel like that's like one valuable conversation, and I feel like I'm failing a little bit in doing that, but it's okay, right? Like there are no failures if you learn from it, right? So I'm really kind of studying and trying to understand what is it like I should talk in terms of their interest, and genuinely be not interested in them. I'm interested in everyone, but I don't know, like develop that sincerity, like just communicate well. And by communicating well, I don't mean like you pronounce everything nicely and all sorts of shit, but by communicating well, I mean you're able to get your intentions across to the other person. You know what I'm saying? I have all these things in my mind, all these questions, all these ambitions or whatever. Fuck, non-copyrighted music, no. Get like all my points across in a precise manner that they understand and I'm able to explain and things like that. So I really want this podcast to be a movement, you know? I don't want like just guests sharing sharing information, like what's happening, what's not happening, but for it to be something really, really genuine, a little bit little thoughts here and there just going through my mind. Because now I just took a little break from podcast for a week, obviously because I wasn't uploading and I wasn't even texting people. But I have been doing that since yesterday, and now I have a few podcasts lined up. And these are not people I know very well because they don't have a lot of like content uploaded or whatever. But I hope it's like a valuable conversation for the both of us and for everyone who's watching. That's why I know it would be a successful podcast. Not because it has so many views, but because it's meaningful. But at the same time, it has to be interesting, you know, like just kind of battling against, not battling, but like just trying to get better at stuff. So I'm honestly praying for like some amazing people, like everyone like I've met has like been a good person. Obviously they've been like super cool, but I want more, like people to really like, I would say vibe with me. Like I just want these amazing people who blow my mind and to become friends with me. Like just in my environment, like immediate environment. Honestly, like I'm so into Korean TV shows, and it's not like only for entertainment. I keep on analyzing like why is it that I gravitate so much towards them, and it's because of the people. Like it has amazing people, and the reason I watch it so much is like I feel like it's so dumb, but then I live it while I'm watching it. So I really want life to get really, really exciting. Like I spoke about, you know, like another name for happiness is excitement. It's so contradictory to what I say and what I believe is like you need to find happiness within yourself, like before you have other people. But I want some people. I really do like build a team, like a genuine team, like people who are committed to even each other, you know? I don't know if you guys know of this concept. It's called many in body, one in mind, which says that all these different people, like many in body, right? Like different sorts of people, like these 10 people, different bodies. So many in body, but one in mind. Like all of them think alike, all of them have like the same mission, all of them have like the same vision. And in terms of mind, they're like one mind. Like that closeness, smoothness or whatever I'm trying to create with people, and that requires people. Like everyone's a good person, but obviously I respect everyone. I want something more, you know? I'm looking for some like ride or dies. I think that's gonna be like the ultimate happiness. It's so weird. Like I keep on thinking, I'm like, wait, you speak about you should be happy with yourself, but then you're talking about all these people. But I have a lot of trust and belief in myself as what I can do as an individual. But at the same time, I know that I'll work even better with people. Like I have all these blessings or gifts or whatever that I can share, sure, but my vision is so much more bigger that yes, I can fulfill it to some extent, but when it's with the kind of people I'm thinking about, the many in body, one in mind, the ride or dies, it's going to be phenomenal, and definitely going to be a lot faster and more fun than me just trying to battle everything alone. So that's a huge thing I'm trying to do, and really praying to find the ideal people, the right people at the right time, and conduct a meaningful dialogue and conversation and just things of that nature, you know? Great! Pulled out one video talking about something. I don't know how stupid it's gonna sound, but then this is the truth, you know? I'm in such a different mindset. That time I saw fucking like matcha or like a mosquito, I'm like trying to... I don't know if this is making any sense or not, fucking, but I'm happy that I've been... Now I'm seeing, I'm like, go away. So weird. I had a good, productive day today, but I wasted a lot of time. I'm really trying to think like how to waste less time and how to like make more time. And one of the goals is to, I wouldn't say like be as productive as I can, but I remember this person was telling me that she said her 24 hours turned into 25 hours. I know it sounds weird, but it made so much meaning. She said that she has so much energy and so much of like life in her that her day is equivalent to 25 hours. Imagine like if you have a 1 hour extra than everyone else, you have 365 plus hours than anyone else. I know this might not make sense, but if you really think about it, it made so much sense to me. And I was like, my god, like, and she wasn't, I wouldn't say she was an old person, she would slap me if she would see this, but she was just like incredible. This fucking copyrighted music is like gonna kill me. So I love that, and I feel like I lack a lot of energy for some reason. I really need to kind of like reconstruct or reschedule or reevaluate my day. Yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so thank you for watching. Ooh. Okay, bye.
She wanna spend the night, but she can't spend the night. She wanna be my wife, but she can't be my wife. Yeah. She said she hate when I go. She want me to stay. Wish I didn't have to leave so soon. It's too late. I'm already on the first flight out to the door. My phone doesn't work.